Hello, ladies and non-ladies. It is I, Adnan Qureshi, the Dashing Adnan, host of the One4U audio show. Wait a minute. Wait for it. I am now officially the One4U podcast, and I could not have become the One4U podcast without the support of all of you guys listening to me and giving me feedback and helping me out. So as you guys now know, you can now subscribe to the podcast now on iTunes. Due to my current bandwidth and space limitations, I only have the first 2 episodes up, and then the other episodes will probably trickle in later until it becomes up to date. So just bear with me there. So the way this is going to work is the new episodes are still going to come out on YouTube first, but they will all hit iTunes, and soon they will hopefully all be synchronized to each other first. But stay subscribed to the YouTube channel. This thing isn't going anywhere, but also subscribe to me on iTunes. Help support me out there. I'd like to see how well I can do on iTunes, but really, thanks again for all your support. And I've celebrated that a little bit today by doing my first ever interview for the show. Halloween time is coming up, and one of the cool things, everyone likes to wear costumes, right? Well, I know a couple of cosplayers, and I wanted to interview a friend of mine who's been doing a lot of really cool cosplay, and that's what I'd like to do for the Halloween-ish kind of episode of the show. Stay tuned. Soon up, there's going to be a WrestleCast coming up, as requested by a couple of listeners, so that'll be coming up soon. But today, first ever One4U interview. Thanks again for your support. I really hope you guys enjoyed this interview. Feedback and support on this would be really awesome if you can. So let me know what you think of this first ever interview. And please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and subscribe to me here on YouTube. And we're going to take a little short music intermission, and we'll be back with my first ever interview with cosplayer Stezy Lee. Welcome to the One4U podcast now. That's right, I'm a podcast. I'm so happy about being a podcast. The laughter you hear in the background is going to be my very first guest on the One4U Show. She's lovely. She's a friend of mine. She's awesome. She is cosplayer Stezy Lee. Stezy, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Stezy, how long have we known each other now? Like 6 years,
something like that.
We both used to work for a really lame company.
Oh, Lame Stop.
Lame Stop.
We can say that and not get sued.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we used to work for Lame Stop, and now we don't. We're both liberated.
Thank God.
We've moved on to bigger things. We'll both tell you don't ever work there.
Yeah, especially if you're a woman and don't want to get hit on a lot.
Exactly.
Which doesn't say much for my cosplay roots, but
it's good. It's cool. I mean, you do your cosplay thing. So I wanted to have Stezy on, talk a little bit about cosplay with all y'all. Let's see here. You've been cosplaying now for how long?
I've only officially been cosplaying for maybe the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with a Rocky Horror Shadowcast for the last 7 years.
You've been doing that a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because my cast is so must-be screen accurate, it kind of ruined cosplay for me because it had to be perfect or I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
So it was only recently that I started actually trying to get to that level of cosplay and be able to show off something perfect.
And who are you usually at Rocky? For anyone who watches Rocky?
For Rocky Horror, I'm usually Columbia. That's my main screen-accurate costume. I'm also a Trixie, which means I get to strip tease in front of everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And lately, just because we're short-handed, I've been Riff Raff.
Okay.
So I get to be bald. I get to be a bald dude. It's pretty awesome.
It's like dudes looking at another dude going like, that dude moves like a woman.
Huzzah! And has boobs like a woman. That's weird.
That's a little weird.
That's...
Okay, so outside of Rocky, then what was your first cosplay? Your first actual, like, when you started, like, When you became Stezy Lee, what was the first Stezy Lee costume?
I guess Samus.
Samus?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were Zero Suit Samus at WonderCon?
Yes.
You can find pictures of her scattered around on the internet.
They are all over.
The funniest thing about that, I went to WonderCon and I ran into you the day that you weren't Samus. And the friends that I went with, one of them saw you the previous day, is like, dude, check out this really awesome Samus I saw. I'm like, I know her.
Yay!
And that was pretty awesome.
I got a lot of attention. I was pretty happy.
You were the only one too, right?
There was another pretty famous cosplayer, Vampy, who was also Zero Suit Samus, but she had this resin Metroid that she was carrying around with her, and she kept posing with it above her head, all cutesy, and I was like, no! I don't approve of this! Stop it!
That sounds badass, and you're like, you can't one-up me.
Yeah.
You see my suit? Do you know how long I worked on this suit for? How long? That's a good expression. How long did you work on this suit?
Actually, not that long. The first run of the suit took me about 3 days.
Oh.
So, like, 8 hours a day, 3 days.
24 hours.
Roughly 24 hours. The second time only took me about maybe a day, day and a half. And then the second time I also had all the embroidery done and patches on the back and yeah.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. And then what made you decide to do Samus first? Like, was that just the one that you thought about, like, I want to be Samus first, or it felt like the best fit for you? Or?
Well, the company I work for, Castle Corsetry, we do a lot of spandex-related cosplay costumes that we sell and take orders for. And we were having a, go figure, a video game night at Rocky Horror. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do because I could have, I've done like, before this I'd done a pretty mediocre Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn.
I liked it.
It was pretty cool, but it wasn't up to my par.
See, you have high standards.
I have
a lot of people would have seen that costume. All these costumes are going to be visible in the podcast, so people can see all. So
I did get a lot of compliments on it. Like, people said that I very much fit the character. The corset didn't fit me weird, and because let's be honest, video game creators do not know how body physics work, much less costumes. But anyway, so I'd used this costume for Rocky, the Harley Quinn, multiple times by this point, and I didn't want to have to use it again. So people were just naming off things I could do, and they were coming up with things like, oh shoot, what's the... I can't remember her name.
She was hot, right? That's all.
She was hot.
Oh, okay, cool.
I want to say it was someone from Resident Evil, but I can't remember who it was. But anyway, so they came up with all these different ideas, and like either they were too hard or too skimpy or too whatever else, and then someone was like, be Zero Suit Samus. I'm like, oh my god, that's great. And shortly after that, my boss regretted the decision to let me do it.
Why?
Because the lines on that pattern, because basically when you make a pattern that isn't just one plain color, you have to separate all of the seam lines and follow the pattern and hope that it, this line goes around the boobs in the right way, and this, whatever. So it was a pain in the butt of a pattern to make.
To actually just like get it and to fit properly. Like, did it fit properly?
The first time did not fit properly.
Okay.
I mean, the suit fit. The patterns, like where a certain line hits her hip, was not correct, or like the line that's up her butt was not correct. The second time was much better. Okay. But yeah, so I made it for Rocky, and the next month happened to be WonderCon, so I was like, well, guess that's happening.
Yeah, and it looked great. And then I forgot, you made the gun too, right? Or...
The first time was just like a random cheapy video game gun that apparently never worked. A friend just gave it to me. The second time, I bought a PlayStation Namco gun, which is actually...
Did you say Namco?
Namco?
Everyone I know calls it Namco.
I guess it is Namco.
I've never heard it called Namco. If you play a Soul Calibur game, it opens with Namco.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Namco. I'm fine with that.
That's like me calling you Adnan. Anyway, tomato. But the gun's actually a pretty perfect fit for her gun, so I didn't actually get around to sanding it, but my original plan was to sand all the names down so it didn't say PlayStation and Namco.
Right.
But I didn't have time to sand it, but I did paint it so it was the right colors. And it turned out alright. I'll probably... I really want to get, like, an actual mold done of the gun that I can... That'll be perfect.
Okay.
But
that's
expensive
cool.
as heck.
And did you... I forgot about training-wise. Did you have a costuming certificate? Did you actually... Because I remember when we went to college together, you were in the costume shop a lot, weren't you?
Yeah, I never got a certificate in the costuming class or anything.
But did you just like grow up just doing a lot of costuming?
Yeah, like I've just done things here and there. I made a few years back. I had made a cardboard tube samurai costume for a friend of mine from Penny Arcade. That he wore to PAX a few years back, and it was perfect. It had the cool little Pac-Man on the back and on the chest, and it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
But like I've never really like I make things work. Like I throw some pretty cool crap together, but it's not
crap. It's not crap when you put them together.
It's pretty crappy.
Really?
Like because I used to hand sew things and just like hand sew seams down shirts, and it was not pretty. Like nothing I made was up close pretty. From a distance it turned out pretty good. Like I was pretty good at pulling things out of my ass, but figuratively speaking.
Please let it be figuratively.
Figuratively. But it wasn't until I started working with Castle Corsetry about a year and a half ago that I really learned how to finish things and make them complete and look good and not be structurally sound is a good way to put it.
All right. And one of the things that you have a claim to fame for, you made a TARDIS dress, correct?
I did.
And I'm not a huge... I've never watched Doctor Who. All I know...
Shame.
I know. I'm a terrible person. You always tell me what a terrible person I am, just in general.
Terrible.
TARDIS is that vehicle, right, that makes them like travel to places or something?
The TARDIS is the Doctor's method of transportation through space,
and
time.
Okay.
You know.
All right. And so you made a dress that looks like the TARDIS, and it actually got picked up and is actually traveling, right?
It is currently on tour.
The dress that you have been in is traveling without you.
It's more traveled than I am. It went after the Geeky Awards that I wore the dress to. It went to Dragon Con in Atlanta, and it's currently this weekend in New York for New York Comic Con. So that's pretty cool. I have friends in New York, I'm like, go take pictures of my dress. Because, yeah. I wish I was...
You wish you were with the dress.
I wish I was with... why couldn't they have brought the model to wear the dress?
No, right, exactly.
Like, if they're gonna transport it... I mean,
you have the person that fits it the best. It was made for you.
I have to make 2 more of those... well, at least the corset. I don't know if I have to make the entire dress, but I have to make 2 more corsets because the company that is... that has the dress right now wants another one for their store in LA, Whimsic Alley. And then we need another one for our booth at Kamikaze Expo next month. So I have to make 2 more of them before Halloween.
Oh my goodness. And Halloween is coming up at the end of the month. Do you like Halloween?
I love Halloween.
Exactly. I would like to hope so, because it'd be really ironic if you were a cosplayer and you just despised Halloween.
Nah, I hate Halloween.
Oh, okay. Well, so you still have time, and I know you'll work at it until you get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other costumes have you done? You have your Zero Suit Samus one, you have your Harley Quinn one.
Yeah,
what other ones have you done?
I remade the Arkham Asylum Harley. Besides that, I haven't really made anything cosplay-wise.
Didn't you do a Deadpool costume?
Oh, I did do the Deadpool costume.
I saw that.
I forgot about the Deadpool
I was all
costume.
like, she's a Deadpool.
For Rocky Horror, we were voting on theme nights, and we decided on comic book night, and I was like, easy, done. I got this in the bag. Like, I have friends I can borrow any costume imaginable from, and got cast as Riff Raff, and was like, well, I don't have a guy, so what to do? And I was like, well, Deadpool's easy enough. I might as well just throw that together, and it'll work out.
Did you do it like real quick? Because it looked pretty good.
I did it in a day.
Yeah, because your Deadpool costume was pretty spot on from what I remember.
So it was pretty nice. I got a lot of compliments on it. The night I wore it was kind of awkward because all of my non-super padded bras broke. So I had to wear, like, this super bra thing.
Well, you were a superhero, so you needed a super bra.
But because I was supposed to be Deadpool, not Lady Deadpool. I was supposed to be Deadpool. And I had huge boobs on stage. I was like, damn it. It was really weird. I had an audience member who was talking to another cast member and was like, wow, Deadpool has some tits. And he was like, well, she can come over and talk about her tits to you because I'm not going to talk about it.
That's fantastic.
It was a thing.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, did you want to talk about anything that you maybe like thought about, or things that you want to do, like costumes that you've thought about and such like that?
I'd really like to do a Teen Titans Raven costume, but like the cartoon Teen Titans.
Raven, voiced by Tara Strong. Very, very good. Yes. That Raven.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's the Raven now that I'm familiar with from Injustice. She's
that's
Parker.
right.
Yeah.
Which I thought Tara Strong was doing Harley and Raven in Injustice.
I don't think she does Raven in Injustice. She only does Harley in Injustice.
Okay.
Because
I thought I'd read she did both, but maybe I'm crazy.
And then Jennifer Hale has two characters in Injustice. She's Killer Frost and she's Hawkgirl.
Oh God.
And so I was hoping that they would have a special dialogue going like, "Oh, you sound very familiar," like, and they don't do shit. They just, yeah, I know, right? That'd be pretty funny if they sounded the exact same and they pointed it out. But yeah, they don't touch on that. But yeah, Tara Strong is only Harley Quinn. But you know, anything other than Raven, or was Raven like the only thing you were thinking about?
There's things that I run across. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this, and it just never happens. I have a friend who does a really good dark helmet. And he has a friend who does barf, and we keep talking about getting like a bigger group together, and then I would have to be Dot Matrix.
Okay.
Because it would be amazing. But that's never happened. And the same group of people, we've been talking about doing a Serenity group, which then I'd want to be Kaylee, but that again has not happened. Besides that...
Well, you and me have something we never have gotten to do yet.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
At some point in time, we had planned, and I feel like this will happen.
It needs to happen.
It will happen.
Maybe
like,
for WonderCon or something.
Something
we'll
like that.
It out.
Anyone who's ever played a fantastic Wii game called Mad World, that's probably the bloodiest game on the system. There's the Black Baron, the pimp, and his hoe, Matilda, and she kills him like every time he's introduced. And that's totally what Stezy would do to me anyway. She would murder me whenever she got a chance.
I'm made for that character.
Pimps, players, pain purveyors. How y'all doing tonight? I don't really give a fuck. Now let me tell you what's going on. And then she would just come in with an axe and just like chop my head off. All right.
It would be pretty great.
That would be pretty cool. All right, I think we should wind down
right
now. This was really fun. I'm really glad that you were my first guest. This went really well.
Yay! This is my first podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
It's a first for everyone.
Yay!
Anything that you want to plug? You know.
Plug my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/the Stezy Lee. So TheStezyLee.
Do you have a website up yet?
I have a website that's currently devoted to hairstyling.
Okay.
So, but I own the domain StezyLee.com.
Okay.
So
it's just not doing much right now.
It's just currently hairdressing stuff that does not exist, really.
Hairdressing, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. She's done my hair a couple times.
I'm a licensed cosmetologist, that I should probably do more with that.
Stezy Lee, more coming soon on that website, yes.
And castlecorsetry.com.
Okay.
Or on Facebook. Either way, they'd be cool to check out. I would say come see me at Kamikaze Expo, but I'm going to be in Florida, so don't come see me at Kamikaze Expo.
Have fun in Florida.
I am going to.
You're going to have a fantastic trip.
We're going to go to Halloween Horror Nights on Halloween. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Well, Stezy, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you
for
having me.
my first guest. Let's get an audible high five. And
Huzzah! Oh, that was weak.
One more time. Yes! All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
I have to put all my body weight into that.
Thanks a lot, guys, for continuing to support the One4U podcast. I am now a podcast. I'm now on iTunes. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingAdnan. Check out my Vine account. I do funny stuff on Vine, I think. Are my Vines funny? Have you looked?
I have seen a couple of them. They're pretty entertaining.
There we go. So my Vines are funny. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast now on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I
Go
really
like my page.
Go like her pages. Support Stezy Lee. Support awesome cosplayers. Support awesome shows. Support us. But we can't do anything without your support, and we greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. And this one has definitely been one for you.